Thank you, Nomad. Coming into 2025, I thought we were done with Gaimin Gladiators Liquid all the time in the upper bracket final, but we're back. We're back into what we've seen so often, but it always brings such fun. I really enjoy these matchups. They seem to be very close. I expect this one to go the full distance, 3 games, maybe a 70-minute banger in there, Lacoste. Both these drafts,
anything can happen. I just have a bad feeling about the Luna, because I saw it during the Dream League and it wasn't really doing great. It was also Liquid who forced it like 3 times. They played with VTune. No offense to VTune, but Mickey is like, when Mickey is on fire, the whole squad's playing really, really well. And Luna was 0-7 at that tournament, so pretty much lost every single game. They did play it 3 times. There's definitely something to it, so I want to see more. I think this hero hits a very strong early timing because of this Aghanim Scepter, basically as your 3rd item, and with the level 15 talent, you have minus 40-second cooldown on Eclipse, which brings it down to 70 seconds, so you can pretty much fight all the time.
Looking at Watson on this Doom, we've seen some safe lane Doom. Do you like it in this this game with what it's up against on the side of Liquid?
Yeah, it's an anti-carry. Good against Storm, good against all these heals that they do have. Great against Shadow Shaman as well. You just run him down. His foul play is not going to be as effective, but I don't like this Naga Siren and Doom lane. I think this is going to be a big problem for them, and now Tofu's showing up.
Yeah, turning this around. Have Infernal Blade.
So giving him the first blood. Nicely done. I guess they were not expecting him to be there.
Yeah, it was a long fight. I think they knew that Watson taking Infernal Blade, they had a shot to try and get that kill. They disposed him, pulled him over, and then it just gave enough time for a +1 to come in, and Dark Willow's who comes over and just feinting the Bramble Maze, making sure that, hey, if you guys come up here, you're going to get caught, and then we can chase the other way. And that helped Watson get Infernal Blade off cooldown and then strike again.
That's going to be extra regen for him, basically a bracer and a healing salve that he gets for free. Did use some of the tangos early on, but in this lane, once they get level 2, level 3, especially on side of Liquid, this is a very strong lane. But they can also start to put some early pressure as well. And there it is, Blood Grenade.
Wanting to go again on a Watson.
Not available.
They did use that Starbreaker. Boxy, he does not have Dispose, but going under the tower,
he tried to bait him.
To get the kill.
It would not be enough. He had 8 armor, which is more than enough to survive that hit from Marcy. And with the healing salve that he just brought, that's going to be a bit of an extra regen that he gets. Still, this type of a lane from Liquid, it does consume a lot of mana. Saberlight knows it. He did start with 2 mangoes, something that usually you don't see on Dawnbreaker. So he knows that he needs to play aggressive. He needs to have that extra bit of a mana until he gets to his Soul Ring. And it's also going to be very important for Liquid to secure the Lotuses. Like, I'd say it's relatively easy in this lane, especially because they can't really stop you. You can go in there. The kill threat's definitely going to be there for Liquid. So this is the lane which is, I would say, not going to go great for Gaimin Gladiators, but the bottom lane is strong. They do have a strong lane with Kunkka and Dark Willow. Very easy panel. Talked about the setup as well. A lot of harassment. Also trying to square up against Dark Willow in the side lane. Maybe a Torrent lands, you get harassed by Tidebreaker. Tidebreaker level 1 is not the most, like, AoE, not the biggest cleave range. Once you get to start to that level 2 and level 3 especially, this is going to be a bit more difficult, but Insania can definitely be caught off guard in this lane.
Yeah, definitely could be the case, especially just starting with an axe. We'll see how that goes for Gaimin Gladiators. Then you've got the mid matchup of the Monkey King against the Storm. Both heroes, I would say, they get to 6 and they can kind of move around. Both these players, too, willing to really play aggressive once they hit that timing. And, you know, we've seen Monkey Kings get to 6, have that Wukongs. They, you know, true dance all the way over, or maybe they TP into the lane, go to the Boundless Strike, jump in, and have that Wukongs. But for Storm, of course, you get that Ball Lightning, you have that Vortex adding a little bit more lockdown of the lane. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see both these heroes kind of move off the lane. But how does the lane go up to that point?
It is slightly Monkey King favored, like he is a bit annoying to play against as a Storm Spirit. Quinn, let's see what he did buy. So has a stick, will go into the boots in this matchup. We'll pick up the Water Rune. You need to steal it away from Storm Spirit.
Top lane again, they're going for Watson. Now level 2 with the Scorched Earth. They don't exactly have the damage. There were Shackles over bottom 2 that really didn't do anything under the Dark Willow. Saberlight's sitting a little bit low, needs to be potentially careful for a chase from Gaimin Gladiators, but they only have the mirror image and the deluge right now, so no ensnare, reel in to pull these heroes into an Inferno Blade. Not a lot of mana on this Naga Siren either, but is grabbing a clarity when that courier goes back and reaches all the way to the lane. There's going to be a lot of time, and they will dispose Malady.
Nice dodges.
And using this mirror image really well just to survive. There were a couple Starbreakers that if they had landed, they would have been a kill onto the Naga Siren.
Yeah, doing a pretty good job. Waiting until they reset. Watson is about to crack level 3 as well. So even if they start to play aggressive now, maybe they're going to be able to get the return kill with 2 points in Scorched Earth. It is a lot of damage, and they initiate it immediately in the top lane. Watson.
He's got to try and maybe
has
run.
10 stick charges.
Yeah,
they do have Lotus.
On. Celestial Hammer doesn't have any more regen. Scorched Earth is going to end, and the last click coming in from Saberlight to get the kill into the Doom.
Watson, he doesn't have much CS. He is in a bit of a rough situation. 9-1, did have that first blood. If he didn't have the first blood, this lane could have been much worse for them. Watson, he is having some records in this tournament. The biggest one for me is having the least deaths so far out of all the players, averaging 1.6 deaths per game, which is pretty low. Like, Quinn is the second one with pretty much the same value,
right?
And Ace is also in the top 4.
Wow. So not a lot of dying on Gaimin Gladiators. They do die on Watson once, but that's only 1 kill for the side of Liquid. Does put Watson towards his average, which is, like you said, very low. And Quinn just running down Nisha.
Orb of Frost making the difference there with the boots of speed. He can run him down. Another hit will proc the Jingu. That's level 2. Nisha. See how he wants to approach it.
Balance strike in 7 if Nisha showed into the lane.
There is Water Rune available. Quinn still thinking about it. Nisha can't get close.
Balance strike on the lane. Get the CS while he's away. Nisha going to go over and try and get anything out of this. And we'll get 1 CS, but this is feeling very Quinn favored at this moment. Bottom lane Shackles, but the Bramble Maze comes in. Ace still on the run. Lucent Beam hits. Not enough damage just yet. Both these heroes sitting pretty low on the side of Gaimin Gladiators.
Ace is about to be level 4. Needs another couple of creeps. Maladich, that's going to be another kill for Liquid.
Yeah, that time not having the mana to use that mirror image to try and avoid that Starbreaker, which pretty much guarantees the kill. The pick-me-up in is very strong with the Dawn to follow that up with Starbreaker. It's just a lot of lockdown and makes your life very difficult.
Gaimin Gladiators off lane, they need to run back. Ace is actually bringing a healing salve, but Tofu, he needs to run back. And might be able to TP mid, try to secure the rune, maybe get a kill onto the Storm Spirit. Nisha right now is jungling. He wants to get that level 6 before so that they can't dive him. But still, they might be able to grab a kill if they catch him off guard at the 6-minute power rune.
It's coming up in the next 15 seconds, and Eldritch is staying nearby. He'll throw illusion towards top. He's got a couple illusions here just kind of scouting the way, as this is going to be a 6-minute power rune. All for Quinn, who will just deny the invisibility.
Yeah, good read from Nisha. Wants to get that level 6. Has Soul Ring, so that's going to be extra bit of a mana, extra bit of a tankiness as well. Knows that he needs that extra strength. Soul Ring gives you 2 armor, great against Monkey, great against that burst damage that maybe they could deal if they rotate at least one of the supports. Moxie trying to play a bit aggressive in the top lane, knowing that before Doom gets level 5, gets level 6, they don't really have that much damage. Maybe thinking about rotation from the Monkey King, who is high level, has Wukong's command ready.
Turns into a courier and immediately starts going up towards top, but then gets spotted by Nisha. That'll put Quinn immediately at half health.
That's a nice play from Nisha, not allowing him to play aggressive onto the top lane, keeping him at low HP. There is 1 tango available on him, but that's about it.
Yeah, he wanted to make that move, and if the timing works out, if he doesn't get seen there by Nisha, there's a potential that he comes over and, you know, the side of Gaimin Gladiators try to attempt to steal this shrine. That's what the timing would have ended out at, so that's a big move. Just that little zip in. Ace shackled.
Rock to Rum.
Tofu coming over, and they'll also have a +1 with the Monkey King, so they'll hit that X on a Mickey. But Insania wise to this, gets a Hex onto Quinn for a second. Body blocks, though, in front of this Luna means they are stuck in. And Quinn will get this kill by rotating over into the bottom lane. Really good move there by Quinn. Really good move by Gaimin Gladiators altogether to just kind of trap that Luna.
That's the power of mid Monkey King. He can easily rotate. He wanted to rotate for that XP rune. Try to maybe a little bit more pressure, maybe get a kill. Saberlight is farming nicely in the top lane. 42 CS, 18 denies. Doom is slowly catching up. Nisha.
Good rebound in after the mirror image. Nisha already playing aggressive despite the fact that he was pushed out of the lane for a moment, but he's ready to just jump on a Nagasar. And he had the help, of course, from the Marcy, but it is looking pretty easy to get your hands on some of these heroes with that rebound.
Insania's here.
Yeah, they're
Shackles.
So are Guardian. They're going to try and go. The Shackles, the Starbreaker, and Quinn is low. Surviving, though, for now, trying to live through it all. But the pick-me-up on the rebound. They'll end up trading Boxy. They get the kill on Anisha. Now they look over at Saberlight. Curse Crown. That will pop. And they are right in on this. Looking over at Saberlight with the Infernal Blade, but the Celestial Hammer gets under the Tier 1 tower and will be able to escape.
This is what I like to see from the carries. Deeping in, using the opportunity. 8 minutes into the game, finding the right target, going for the kill, getting extra bit of XP for himself. Also, this mana burn is going to be very annoying. Like, great against Dawnbreaker, great against Storm Spirit as well. Dawn doesn't have that big of a hero pool to start with. And also, the Fusel Blade on Monkey King. We saw how effective it can be. This is a bit of a, like, older/newer type of a build. We saw a good amount of Mage Slayer a couple of months ago being the core item on Monkey, but people are just building the Fusel Blade. Mickey, first ulti.
Ooh, they are close. They'll get him. All right, 3 heroes here. Not much Tofu can do. Curse Crown doesn't really do enough.
It's a lot of damage. He gets extra 25 from Lucent with the Moonstorm, and also Lunar Blessing extra 12. So hitting for 130 damage there on Mickey.
Quinn got the kill there. Ball Lightning, Wukong's command.
Got the Wukong's
Vortex. But the Balance Strike, Mickey's in trouble. The Curse Crown, it's going to pop while he's still in the Wukongs. The changing of the guard means he's right up on him, and they will take this Luna's life.
Maybe if they get it pulled before he gets the Wukongs, that fight is a bit different. But now Nisha as well. Quinn outclicks him. Ooh. Gets that amplified damage.
Little Balance Strike, that did some decent damage, but there is 2 charges on the wand, and you've got enough to kind of ball lightning away. Pushing really close to this Diffusal Blade, and that's going to make things even harder. That inhibit makes the chase a little bit easier for Gaimin Gladiators, and of course the mana burn is going to feel good against these liquid heroes too.
It definitely will. Quinn has the highest KDA at the tournament, averaging over 10k, 10.3 to be precise. Watson is the second one with 10 KDA exactly, so this team is playing really well. I think big of a difference is that they're playing more around Quinn rather than playing more around Watson. A team needed a little bit more time to be able to, find the right play style, that everybody's fitting in nicely with Watson, with Melody joining in later, and now this team is in a really good spot.
Yeah, they've really meshed quite well, and we've kind of seen the evolution of that. I'll hold that thought for a second as Watson is going to die here again, so that is going to put him over his normal average, which is 1.6. So he's at 2 deaths, and he's already over the average. But we could see the difference, right? Like, we saw him in Belgrade a long time ago when he was first with Gaimin Gladiators, to now it feels like they've got their game plan a lot more secure. They know what they want to do with this lineup.
Yeah, it definitely does feel like that. Sometimes it's going to click immediately with the players that you do have. I'd say Gaming needed a bit more time to figure things out, considering that these are a bit of a different playstyles that they did have between the carry that they did have and carry that they have right now. And now with Giga Ward, Boxy, and Insania will take the tower. Insania, of course, going to be getting the last hit with the Serpent Wards. Almost impossible to get the last hit against this monstrosity.
Well, what's the feeling when you go to Giga Ward instead of Chicken Fingers?
It depends on the lane, I would say. It depends who you're playing against. We see it a lot against Terrorize,
Wukongs, and the Curse Crown with the Solar Guardian, but the pick-me-up gets him out of the Wukong's command. And before the Curse Crown goes off, Maladich and Boxy going to be traded out, and they'll look for the Eclipse. They've got the pullback on the Quinn. He's in trouble. He's dead. But the Torrent lands on a Saberlight. Can they get the kill on the Dawnbreaker? They can, and the Cleave hits Insania pretty hard. But Tofu finished off by Nisha, who is now out of mana, but still has that regen rolling, and that means he's able to get it out, and will have the mana back in a second.
Only losing Dawnbreaker as a core, but also getting a kill on Monkey King, killing 2 of the supports. Mickey, like, we're definitely going to be seeing Mickey join most of these fights because he's very active as a player as well, especially when he plays Luna. I talked about Aghanim Scepter being one of his first items, and he just queued it up. So basically, that's going to be your Mask of Madness, Manta style into Aghanim Scepter. The big timing is that level 15 talent, where it reduces cooldown by 40 seconds, which is pretty insane to think about. So I thought Luna is going to be slightly more popular, but we haven't seen too much out of the hero, because there are some heroes that are kind of in tier above Luna, unfortunately, but still feels very strong, I would say, especially when Mickey plays it.
Feels like kind of what you were saying yesterday about Faceless Void, right? Like, there's very minimal situations where you'd play that hero, but it's still viable in its own way.
We saw it today when it was a good game for it. Team Spirit did pick it. Some of these heroes are still strong, but a little bit forgotten. We also saw Phantom Lancer yesterday when Watson picked it on 24 and carried the game pretty heavily on it.
Yeah, talk about forgotten heroes. That is definitely the trio of forgotten heroes a little bit. Although you don't really forget about Faceless Void, it's more just he gets ignored and nobody's looking his direction. Big Giga Ward over mid. Blade Mail was finished for Ace, but they've got the pick-me-up. They go to the Starbreaker. Now the Song, Ghost Ship, pulls it off, and that lands onto the Marcy. They go to the Ensnare, but they have the Shackle. They look over at Watson, and they've got a lot of big damage onto Watson, and he never gets a chance to do anything. He TP's in just to die.
Case here again.
Another Eclipse dropped down. Quinn low, but not dead. There was a Doom put onto this Dawnbreaker, but it doesn't really do anything. The Wukong's command, the Curse Crown, they go in with the Bedlam, trying to get the kill on Quinn, but he's able to change the guard, and they get the kill onto Saberlight too. The Bedlam there with the Wukongs doing the damage onto these heroes on the side of Liquid.
Both of these teams understanding that they need to bring numbers. Like, starting minute 10, everybody is bringing 5 heroes to every single fight. Kunkka is the one who dealt quite a lot of damage this Blade Mail, and I really like Ace's build. I know people talked about him being the Aura buyer most of the time, but he also had some very interesting ideas yesterday. Some of them were Auras, but when he played the Dawnbreaker as well, Aghanim Scepter, Vlad's, AC as well, this time around, Pipe is going to mitigate a lot of the damage from Liquid. Doom, a little bit unfortunate there, getting grabbed immediately, and when you get focused by this Giga Ward, it deals insane amount of damage. This is like 600 damage.
Gets shackled immediately, and then has like this split second to throw Doom out there, but other than that, he really doesn't do much of anything. Yeah, that's a lot of his kit, but then this Eclipse, it looks like it's gonna kill off the Monkey King, and they just don't have enough. And then the Wukongs, Dark Will comes around, has the Bedlam in the Wukongs, going after Luna, and they have more than enough damage to take out both the Luna and the Dawnbreaker.
They have very good control inside of the Wukong's command.
Finding Quinn. This Terrorize just not in time.
No Doom available.
Still going to take some damage from the Unleash, but Boxy finished off by Tofu with another Bedlam.
The boys
solo
sold out.
Target. Shackle connects through.
Radiance got
onto
delivered.
Ace. He's alive, pops that Blade Mail. Insania's gone. Ghost Ship flying through, they hit the X, but pulling back Saberlight, he's able to get to the Celestial Hammer and avoid that collision course with that boat.
Very good timing for them to get that Radiance online. Shadow Shaman doesn't really like to play into this matchup. We saw Ame really liking in the TI qualifiers as well, where he was playing pretty much Doom against every single Shadow Shaman game, where it was picked on the enemy side, allowing you to run him down. He also did go for a bit of a different item build with some Silver Edge, so you break him. Foul play is not going to trigger, but overall very good. Foul play, you just die to either Scorched Earth or Radiance Burn, so very easy to deal with him. He did sell that Hand of Midas. Nicely done by Watson. Still, on top of the net worth, even with having 3 deaths, he's been pretty heavily involved. 10 out of 14 kills.
Yeah, wanted to get involved here, especially now with this Radiance. Was there with the Doom. They go for Ace. Sora Guardian coming in, making sure they get a second. Ace and Tofu are dead, and Maladich needs to run. Nisha right on his tail. The net connects, but Nisha's got a double kill. Quinn even comes in, and Watson's back with Doom. So that's thrown on to the Storm Spirit. Nisha's gone. Inhibit onto Saberlight, chasing over at a Watson. Celestial Hammer hits for a second, but the TP attempt out. They have an Infernal Blade. No, they don't. And Saberlight TP's away.
A little surprised they didn't de-ward this hill. Like, this was relatively early triangle invasion from Team Liquid. They planted down Observer Ward. Let's see if Malady is going to have a read on it.
If not, it's good vision. He TP's right over there, though. Doesn't go right towards the ward, though.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So it won't get dewarded, at least at the moment. Top of the net worth, like you said, for Doom. Quinn kind of catching up. Ace having a better game. But the side of Liquid, they've got a pretty farmed Luna. You can feel the damage. Especially with a good Eclipse. Has that Mask of Madness going into the Manta, then the Ags. Expect a lot from this Luna this game. When you're picking a more of a niche hero like Luna, you're kind of expecting it to be a really good game for that hero, right? When you're taking that risk.
Yeah, that's for sure. Mickey, level 12 on Luna. Doom is level 13, staying ahead. That extra bit of a damage that he deals, that level pain ability, is the reason why Doom is also picked. His right clicks definitely hurt with Pack Leader Aura, pretty much giving free Vlads to your team in terms of the damage output. It definitely adds up. You have Monkey, you have Kunkka, all of these heroes, their right clicks do hurt.
Are you surprised that he switched to the Pack Leader Aura so early? We've seen other Dooms hold on to like Mana Burn for a long time. We've seen even Tendrils picked up.
No, I think he just wants to run in. He's going to have a pretty good timing on the BKB. Usually you pick it up when you get a BKB.
Right.
But I guess he also wants to have a slightly faster farming tool. That's why he's staying on top of the network because of the Aura. It is 20% critical. 225, 20% chance. And it's also 30% bonus damage. Liquid, using this opportunity, seeing that Doom is low, scouting him with that Observer Ward and with Giga Ward. It's going to be Aegis for Nisha. It's going to be much easier for him to start a fight, not needing to care about the Doom.
Early on the timing for that Aegis. And, I mean, that's the benefits of having Shadow Shaman, right?
Yes.
Shadow Shaman gives you that opportunity to go for the early Roche. We'll see if that, with the objective taking and the objective control that Liquid have, I would be interested to see if maybe at 20 minutes they also go towards the Tormentor. It's usually the case, especially, you know, starting top. They all have the control. Inhibit, and the Balance Strike with the Cursed Crown unneeded, but the Solar Guardian, the commitment comes through, and it seems he's going to get himself the Shackles, but the Song, now on to 3. They'll commit to the TP out. The Song hits 4 when the Luna walks in, and everybody is out of dodge.
This is a good way to disengage against Dawnbreaker ulti. Shadow Shaman found an okay catch, but you can still feel the power of Gaimin's lineup, especially when they pair up Dark Willow with Monkey King. I'm just a little confused about this Liquid's lineup. When do you want to take a fight? Do you want to be taking a fight during nighttime when Luna has increased vision, or you want to be taking the fights during daytime with the Break of the Dawn having that extra damage increase on Dawnbreaker?
Maybe it opens up taking the fights at any time. Boxy, he unleashed, but is not going to hit anything. All right, maybe a creep or two. But that's a rebound into an X. And this is just another kill onto this Marcy.
Yeah, this is just a wave that usually you don't go for. If you don't have any vision on the high ground, getting your feet wet in the river usually means you're dead.
That was probably an ill-advised move. Still 3 minutes with the Aegis, though, for Liquid. They can definitely try and make something happen with it with the second life. BKB, though, getting picked up for Quinn. They'll have that extra bit of protection, and then also Doom is very close to a BKB of their own, only 200 gold away.
Yeah, this is the big timing for them. I think they can take the fight even with the Aegis on side of Team Liquid. Pipe is ready. Kunkka also going for another Aura, going for the Crimson Guard, great against Luna. Will remove a lot of that damage.
Blink Hex and Senya, ooh, they go into the trees to look for the Wukong's Balance Strike. So now this is a Shadow Shaman that's in trouble, but the Solar Guardian comes through and they get the kill on Maladich. They'll end up trading for Insania. Saberlight fighting Celestial Hammer, Tumblr's Toy from Watson. They find the Dawnbreaker, the Infernal Blade, and then the Cursed Crown is the lockdown that they need to get this kill. Tried to use the Shard there and did avoid the Cursed Crown, but wasn't able to survive overall.
Pretty good fight.
Cool move there, but just not enough.
Not using Doom, that's the big one, so they can have it for the next fight. Wukong is not that long of a cooldown, even though it is level 1 only, so 100 seconds. But he did use a BKB, and they will use this opportunity to take Tormentor for themselves. They have okay Tormi. You would probably prefer to have it on Dark Willow, but you do get it on Maladich. That's just the way it is. It's also a decent shard, nothing too crazy. Gives you increased heal, which is nice. Gives you mana regen.
Yeah, really not that bad, just not your first choice.
Yeah, I still think that Liquid can take the fight with Aghanim Scepter on Luna. That level 15 talent is online, so Eclipse cooldown is ready, down to 70 seconds. Unfortunately, I don't know if they can time it with Aegis expiring on Storm Spirit. Mickey still needs another 600 gold to finish it off.
Very close. Meanwhile, Watson, he has his BKB. There's the pipe for Ace.
It's not pipe, it's Vanguard as well, so he's gonna be super tanky. Again, Boxy, same spot, 3 times.
Torrent lifts him up, but he'll rebound out. Now they go for Nisha for a second. Blink in, they go to the Hex, they think about the Wukongs, but not committing it. It's still kind of a deterrent where Liquid's heroes aren't following up with Nisha.
Is getting delivered.
Gonna pop, and now we'll see Boundless Strike. There goes the Aegis. They've got themselves the Ags. They'll drop down the Eclipse, but
no damage.
Soaks up all that damage. The Wukong's command. They'll throw the Terrorize. They hit the Doom. They get the kill on Nisha. They'll take out Boxy. The Shackles on a Maladich. The Ghost Ship comes in. The Curse Crown's gonna pop a second onto the Dawnbreaker. Saberlight goes back into the Wukongs. He'll die to Tofu. Insania on the run. They caught up to the Luna. This should be a full team wipe as the Infernal Blade lands and everybody dead on Liquid as Gaimin Gladiators soak up an Eclipse, move that Moon, and fight back against Liquid.
Yeah, that was basically nothing. Literally no damage taken. This was also without Song of the Siren being used, but you can feel them how tanky they are. They use Ghost Ship, they use that pipe, and this is the big issue. Gaimin Gladiators, it's all about that magical damage right now, because Luna, at the moment, isn't really dealing that much physical, and she can't stand her ground. Like, she doesn't have Pike, she doesn't have BKB at the moment. So Team Liquid trying to play a bit of a faster Dota. They do get punished, not having enough, and we're gonna see it again. It was a nice try, like perfect timing in terms of the delivery, because Aghanim Scepter Mickey sent the courier to the mid lane, TP'd in, Aghanims gets delivered, and suddenly
no damage. I mean, he looked at them cross-eyed, but it was painless as this Eclipse dropped down onto them and did absolutely nothing. And then just look at all the health. Like, nobody's really hurt at all. They continue to run down these heroes. They solo out this Luna as well. And everybody falls on the side of Liquid. I mean, that is just burning down the house for Gaimin Gladiators. They built up so much for Liquid, but it all comes crumbling down.
Boxy not too happy about this one.
Quinn doing a lot in these fights. BKB down to 7 seconds. But, I mean, this early Diffusal Blade has proven to be a problem. I mean, the hit inhibits alone have done a lot to really let the rest of the team catch up and help them out.
Whoever gets caught inside of it most likely is going to die. They have good amount of control with Ensnare, with X, Bramble Maze. Tofu's pretty farmed. He does have Blink Dagger with the Yule Scepter, so he can set things up. It's also not the easiest hero to kill. Tofu sitting at only 2 deaths so far. He's been heavily involved in most of the kills. 20 out of 24.
That's a high percentage. I don't know the number of. But they'll look to push the tier 2 tower bottom. They've got Ace ready with Tofu behind him.
Oh, now even Crimson. That physical damage reduction, it's going to hurt them even more. Moonglaves not going to be dealing damage. Mickey now thinking that he needs a BKB. He needs to be able to stand his ground, but doesn't have enough gold. Got a TP in still. Let's see the combo this time around.
Eclipse goes through. They're trying to get Quinn. They get the kill to the Monkey King. The song. It locks down 4, but the ball lightning's back and forth. The TP out from both the Doom as well as the Naga Siren. Ace needs to run. Nisha doesn't have a lot of mana. They do lose the Monkey King, so there is a fight back coming in from Liquid under the Tier 2 tower that is finding it some success.
Yeah, this time around, Eclipse goes off. It does connect onto him at least most of the beams. Doesn't get the BKB off. Still need to be slightly careful. You are playing against Shadow Shaman. They can use Hex, Initiate. Dawnbreaker ulti is going to come through. Because you can't really be saving people who get doomed. So Saberlight's going to be using that Dawnbreaker immediately to get into the fight. Try to get that healing in immediately. And then Nisha trying to go for something while it still has a BKB. Thinking maybe Malady's going to run out of the AoE. Maybe he's going to be able to catch someone off guard.
Cursed Crown pop. They had the Yules with the Bramble Maze. Nisha goes forward. They buy back. They look over at Watson. Maladich does not have Song.
Eclipse in 2 seconds.
They have Doom. Maybe they want to fight this, but Ace, where is he at? He's over towards the side. He's got the pipe ready to go. Crimson and the Blade Mail. Dropping Eclipse. Every time they've soaked it up. Yeah, they lost Quinn in that last fight, but that required them to use the Giga Ward, the Solar Guardian. Like, they had to drop it all just for that kill on the Monkey King.
Roshan's going to be respawning shortly. They killed it pretty early with Giga Ward. Let's see if they are going to be able to replicate it this time around. Kind of doubt it, considering that Gaimin are staying ahead, and also they do have Nagasaran to scout things out. Plus, they can reset with the Song. It's coming off cooldown in 20 seconds.
We'll see who ends up grabbing Roche, but Tofu and Quinn sitting towards top. Ace is there as well. Sania in the vicinity. Won't get spotted initially, and they'll just continue to farm. It is an 8,000 net worth lead for the side of Gaimin Gladiators. I suspect that they're the ones who want to take this second Roche and be the ones who initiate in the pit.
Radiant are scanning. Radiant
28 minutes. Doom thrown out of the Luna. Solar Guardian. They're going to be here for the Shrine. Watson with the BKB, but the side of Liquid back away from this. They did get Doom out of the pockets of Doom, though.
And the BKB.
Yeah.
Okay, TP it out. Does survive in the end.
Boxy trying to use that Force Staff. Knock the Monkey King out of the tree. Not quite the right tree. Isha 5, 4, and 7 so far. He's got BKB, he's got Kai Assange, and next he's going into the Witchblade. And they are smoked up on Gaimin Gladiators. Maybe they catch him. But again, they're the ones who really want to be going for Roche, be the initiators in the pit, unlike how Liquid got it in the last one. They are chasing, and they will
Boxy,
grab an X on a Boxy. Boundless
no
strike.
buyback.
Eclipse dropped down, but they are soaking up a lot of this damage initially. The Wukong's was dropped. They go to the Song, and now can they turn
Takes
this
a
for
lot of
more? They
heal.
caught themselves. Make a
coming.
ghost ship comes through. BKB is going to be on the mark, so he's going to be able to turn around and try and fight. The balance strike comes through, but Quinn's trying to hit back. On the back end of it, though, Insignia was caught by Watson and Ace. They'll take out both supports on the side of Liquid, and now Ball Lightning trying to cut the trees and get Quinn out of the fight, but Tofu ends up dead first. Solar Guardian came in from Saberlight. They'll hit that X. Watson moving forward. Lucent Beam stuns him up for a second. Inferno Blade on the Saberlight. Balance Strike connects on him as well as Nisha, who needs to Ball Lightning away and get out of dodge as Gaimin Gladiators sustain and continue to take that fight.
Not easy fights for Liquid. This Eclipse, it needs to deal damage. It's still doing a lot of damage. Mickey, 5,000. See Boxy dying. He's still dead because he bought back in the previous fight, but he needs somebody else to as well deal the damage. Right now, he's not doing that much of a right-click damage at the moment, so that's a bit of an issue. If they could bait the pipe somehow, but Ace has been really amazing, waiting until that, like he's not gonna use pipe until Eclipse is used, knowing that he can't be bursted. He's sitting at 2.7k HP, has 50% magic reduction, 49 to be more precise, has Gale Guard, has Blade Mail.
It does
He
look
can always
like
get it off.
Eclipse is doing nothing. I mean, that pipe has just been blocking so much out. Balance Strike to go in Wukong's Eclipse again. This time, though, without Ace, without this pipe, that's the power of Eclipse.
That's the power of Luna. Level 15 talent. You can pretty much fight all the time. And now Roshan is going to the bottom pit. He's already there. Let's see how they're going to approach it. Quinn did invest all of his gold into this Scotty, so Roshan should belong to Liquid. There is BKB available on Doom, and Doom ready, so they might still take the fight. Arcane Rune as well. Insania blinked in.
Ooh, Hex, Solar Guardian.
He got him.
Looking for the Terrorize. That comes through and hits him on Liquid, but can they finish the fight? They go to the Doom. They'll look over at the Dawnbreaker, who is dead to the Doom. Watson, though, Ball Lightning Vortex. The BKB's run out. Doom's going to be in trouble with the BKB being popped by Nisha. They'll go to the pick-me-up with the rebound. They'll drop it down into the Doom. X trying to pull him back, but Watson's already dead. They'll get the kill to Boxy. But Ace now on the run. No Quinn. And Maladich, he'll be back in a second, but I don't think that Ace is going to live that long. They'll take the Kunkka's life. And again, they can look towards Roche.
Insania goes in, uses that Giga Ward, and Watson catches the glimpse of him, blinks in, and then they try to reset. Both gets off. Torrent connects onto multiple heroes, and then Nisha finds the opportunity. Tofu does have Shadow Realm, not the best Eclipse. He's still probably gonna die here anyway.
Ooh, Balance Strike, Song, maybe he survives now.
Where's the
Can they
follow-up?
lock down? Can they get the mana away from Nisha? He's still holding onto an Aegis anyway. The TP out from Mickey as he is gonna leave Nisha, but he'll have
Boundless Strike in a second.
Ball Lightning. Can he get away? Boundless Strike connects. Yules.
Bramble.
And Bramble's just not going to be in time. Yeah,
not there in time. Nisha gets away. If he gets, if they get the Bramble, I think he dies again. I think Ensnare was also coming off cooldown.
that could have been two, but it was close. No Aegis though anymore. They did pick it up, but they use it immediately. Still sitting at around this 8,000 net worth lead, and let's take a look at the replay. You'll see it. Watson's smoke gets broken immediately, blinks, but is hexed. Quick fingers. They
Not
have the
chicken
shackle.
fingers, but quick fingers this time around on Insania. And that boat Torrent, it lands pretty much on 4 heroes. That was really nicely done.
Doom ticks out this Dawn, but
Nisha knew immediately where he needs to go. Relatively big zip, finds Watson and Boxy. Kind of sacrificing himself there.
to drop off this Luna.
Yeah. And then now Mickey has a pretty free entry, knowing that there is no pipe, there is no Doom available. So doesn't have to care. Finally can get some right clicks in.
It's definitely a good place to put the Luna right into the fight. Not really showing that they need Eclipse to do everything for them, which is definitely going to be the strengths of this build and this team. They look for this Dark Willow, but now there's that turnaround where they have the song and they'll get the first life out of the hands of Nisha in this exchange. Bramble's on the second one a little bit slow.
Yeah, it wasn't ready yet, unfortunately for them. Good Boundless, though.
Trying to hold out as long as they could.
Trying to reset the cooldowns, but it just wasn't ready. And also Luna with level 20 talent. Now Lucent Beam, getting extra 110 damage. This is level 3 ulti with Aghanim Scepter. So total beams 18. That's extra 1980. So 2,000 damage that he just got if all of the beams are going to hit. Which is going to make a lot of difference in terms of the damage output.
That sounds like one of the biggest bumps in damage on a talent.
It is with the item, of course.
They get that Tormentor, get the Shard to Insania. Harpoon for Watson, we saw it in the last fight. He's going for the AC. Say the big playmaker so far has certainly been Quinn, but he needs to survive. The few times he's been caught out, though, it's been without Ace, without that pipe. Like you said, when you've got this minus 40 seconds on the Eclipse cooldown, fighting every minute is pretty great.
In a longer fight, you might see it twice. If this game goes post like 45 minutes, he might just respawn and do it again with the buyback, because the fights are going to be longer. You also did mention Harpoon on Doom, which is really good. This item did get nerfed. You can now disjoint, draw fort. Didn't know it was called like that, but yeah, the active ability can be disjointed, which is really nice, but you can also proc the Linkens with it, so this is why Doom is buying it. And now they also have Vlad's, plus they also have Aeon Disc on Naga Siren. So she's not gonna die, which also means that she can get the song off. They can try to reset, but you have Vlad, you have Pack Leader's Aura. That's gonna be a good increase in damage output that they can do. A little bit of a lifesteal as well.
MKB being built for Quinn. He'll need some time on that. Already has the Demon Edge portion of it. He is not too far away from finishing off the full MKB, so by the next fight, could potentially see him have it already. Bramble Maze connects, but no follow-up towards that yet, although Ace now spotting Boxy has the X. Torrent's not going to connect with the Force Staff, but now Boxy in a weird spot. And they've got the vision. They go to the Eclipse. They drop it down. They look over as they've got themselves at least the kill on a Tofu. The Eclipse doing good damage on the Ace, but they go to the Song. Is it going to be enough to keep him alive? They'll heal him up, but they've got the Doom. It's going to be through onto the Storm Spirit. Lucent Beam on a Quinn. Nisha's dead. No buyback. Mickey running away from the fight. They finally get the kill on an Ace. But he's on the back lines. Boundless Strike connects on a Saberlight. Down goes the Dawnbreaker. They'll find themselves in Senia too. And it is 4 deaths on Liquid as Gaimin Gladiators come out ahead.
Only with one buyback on Tofu. It was a nice song to try to reset it. Saberlight committed pretty heavily to kill Kunkka, who doesn't have buy available, but the rest of the team, they get the Doom off, and they're ready to chase him down. The damage output from Doom is insane. This hero is just nuts, what he can do when he's staying ahead, when he is the higher level than you. But also Wukong's command. If Monkey's not dying, this is one of the few fights where we've seen Quinn surviving until the end of the fight, and MKB is getting delivered. Tofu.
Ooh, Bramble forces the BKB. That doesn't feel too great. Kind of feels bad. The opposite of hunky-dory.
Not again. Not a hunky-dory again.
Rebound and the dispose, but the balance strike with a shard means Quinn's out of the fight. They'll drop the Eclipse, and they've got themselves the Hex. It's onto the Doom. Watson in trouble. Low, about 700 health, but surviving for the moment? No, they've got the Shackles. They have the connection. They'll get the kill. They'll focus their attention onto Tofu, who bought back and will be dead for 90. So 2 heroes gone for a minute and a half.
Do not underestimate the damage from Luna. If you get isolated, if there are no creeps around, these Lucent Beams, they're just going to eat you alive. It's way too much damage, and he just hit 25 as well. Extra bit of a damage.
The net worth lead tells a story, but I don't think it's the right one, because there is definitely a chance for the Luna, especially seeing that last fight, to just wipe the floor with Gaimin Gladiators.
Yeah, Mickey has good amount of right clicks now. Yeah. Lunar Blessing gives him 100 damage. It gives 50 to his allies. Sitting at, what is that, 400 damage at the moment with Butterfly. Has Lincoln Sphere available, can consume the Ags, and I like what I see. Refresher, if he can get to that, this is the item that's going to win you the game. With Pipe, it's still not enough to be able to remove all that damage. You're still getting the damage in, especially with the level 20 talent. We already said it's a 2k damage increase on Luna.
Cutting into the net worth lead, pushing these outer towers. One of the best things, too, about Luna, when you break that high ground and those glaives start to bounce around and make your life really miserable.
Yeah, pretty much if you lose a tier 3 tower against Luna, you're losing your barracks.
Long minute and a half. Make a top of the net worth by 4,000 gold. And like you said, working on that Aghanim's Blessing, working on getting Refresher, and probably thinks about buying out if they can get this next Roche. Definitely want to be holding buyback. Doesn't actually have enough gold for buyback anyway, just short 1,000. But Roche is going to be about a minute 10 seconds away, based on my knowledge of an analog clock, which is not much
good
at all. But I have a good
How
guess.
is that minute and 10? Let's check the clock.
You don't think that's a minute and 10?
No, that was 2 minutes exactly.
You think that's going to be 2 minutes?
That's 2 minutes. Let's see where it started. If you divide it, it has 12, right? So if you divide it by 3, you make 3 sections out of it. That's literally 2 minutes. I got to teach you something, Benjamin. We'll keep it after the game. Might take a while. We'll see. Might not be able to do it in the pause. The pause is not going to be long enough.
I mean, this has been a year of confusion for me. I don't think a pause... Ever since this change has happened, I have gone from, like, I know when Roche is spawning to, it could be at any time, guys. I almost know less than what the players in the game know. All right, guys. Okay.
They're doing you dirty.
Can you get a little timer, a little ticker down there as well? That would really help me out. The needle moves, but like Sure, okay. I don't know. Hex being built by Ace. That'll be some extra control for the side of Gaimin Gladiators.
He does have the Zune as his neutral item, which is going to be bigger AoE on his spells. Unfortunately, doesn't have torrent damage and knockup duration on level 15. Like if you go for a bit of a mixed one, maybe he thought I still need to deal some damage, so took 70 Tidebringer, which is still nice. McKay leading the charge.
I don't know if you want to be a tourist. Okay.
There it is.
Okay, guys. This is like kindergarten stuff.
Well,
why don't I know it,
go
man?
back? Yeah.
I'm going to be like the movie Billy Madison. I got to go back to school. $4,000 net worth lead continues to dwindle here. They'll hold that high ground and nobody coming over, nobody committing. They had Mickey at the front line for just a couple of seconds, but then they backed away. 42-minute game, but there's been a lot of back and forth. Certainly hasn't felt like a 42-minute game, honestly.
Refresher's the big one. Whoever gets it, you're going to have either double Wukong's command, double Doom with the double BKB, or you will have Luna with double Eclipse. And that's like that second Eclipse can make a lot of difference, especially when the Rum buff wears off. Saberlight on a different side of the map as Dawnbreaker, making sure that he's still getting something out of the map and that he can TP in immediately. So far, his reaction time was pretty good.
Let's see who... Oh. Now there's a sundial.
With Roman numbers.
Yeah,
what is
all right,
this?
what is this? Also, that wasn't even a... Like, just this? I'm inside. The lights are off in our room. How am I even supposed to read a sundial?
There's going to be Eclipse as well. Hard to read that clock.
Yeah. You want me to look right at the sun? Wukong's with the extra circle. And now they'll drop the Eclipse. Roche is low, but the Aegis picked up for Quinn. Saberlight goes in, but they've got the Song trying to keep him out. They'll jump over, try to keep their hands onto the Dawnbreaker, but with the BKB running out, there really isn't an easy place to run. Starbreaker, Bedlam. On the other side, they find themselves Watson, Boxy trying to pick him up and let him leave, but Saberlight dies before that. They threw the Doom. It's on to Nisha, who's running, but a lot of this duration, they have the net. He's looking dead. Boxy gone too. 3 heroes dead on the side of Liquid. They'll find 3 kills, but they'll look for more.
Lincoln's
popped, Insania.
Basher
He'll die,
immediately.
and then Basher comes in, the BKB, the chase is on, and they will look to get the Luna. But with the BKB, can they get all the way back? No, they've got the X. They'll have the Torrent. It's a full wipe.
And they want to
Gaimin Gladiators right
no
by the tier
buyback
4s.
available on Storm Spirit. That's the big one. He bought the components. He does have Lincoln Sphere recipe. Was thinking about maybe getting the full item in. He's the one who got doomed in the previous fight. Watson, they have the damage. Vlad, pack leader's aura, they're going for the push. Luna, Eclipse in 5 seconds.
They're jump in, they'll look for the Luna.
They don't care.
And they go to the Doom. I mean, Watson, he's 10-5 and 18. He's been a psycho killer this entire game. And the clock will strike 0 here for Liquid as Gaimin Gladiators will take game number 1.
What a great performance from Gaimin. Back and forth game. This Eclipse has been causing a lot of issues in some of these fights, but a lot of that damage has been mitigated by the itemization from Ace. And in the end, Gaimin, they...
Thank you very much. Another beautiful interview there by Nomad. Always nice to hear what the thoughts of the coaches are, especially with the Luna. Something a little bit different that came out in that game, but this game, it feels like a bunch of heroes, at least so far, that we've seen an okay amount of. Some maybe not so much. I think Ringmaster towards the back end of this tournament has been picked up a little bit more. People have been enjoying this hero a touch more than they did before. But I'll look over as try to get themselves Watson, forcing that TP out. And TP out up a little bit further up to the tier 1 tower.
That might be one of the shortest TPs we've seen.
Gets him there, but take a look at these matchups. Quinn on that Void Spirit. They've got Nisha on the puck. What kind of matchup is that?
Never satisfied. No matter how many buffs the hero receives, I still feel that this hero is slightly overrated with everything. I saw a good amount of it in the qualifiers. It is one of the heroes that a lot of people like the play because it's very flashy. There's a lot of stuff that you can do with the hero. And also Aghanim Scepter, this is a good matchup for him against the puck. Good in the lane as well. I just want to see, because I've seen different builds. I think in this one, he's just going to go straight Aghanim Scepter to have more control. You are playing against Phoenix. You are playing against TB as well, puck. So I want to have that as fast as possible. This is a bit on the slower side, Gaming's draft, because you need to farm Radiance on your Brewmaster. Your TA needs to get to her Treads, Dragonlance, Deso. Very interesting approach in the bottom lane. This lane has been very popular, this Axe plus Marcy, and they pick the heroes that have barriers, so they are going to be soaking up a lot of that damage. It is a really nice approach from whoever thought of this, because these heroes are not going to die that easily, and if a hero dies in 900 AoE off Abaddon, if he's not the one dying with the Quickening Facet, he's going to get the extra reduction on the shield. He might get another one available immediately after, and so far they're doing a good job. 10 CS on this Templar Assassin. Even though they blocked the wave, he needs to help him out here a little bit. Maladich.
Ooh, gets the call, which means no Aphotic Shield. Boxy gonna fight Watson, just needs one more shot to get this kill. And it'll finish him off, so it'll be first blood there for the side of Liquid, but traded off, getting some soul XP for Watson overall. Not the worst thing in the world, but having that call, making sure he doesn't get that Aphotic Shield, kills off the Abaddon. The side of Gaimin Gladiators are also going to kind of have a couple of these pokey silences, right? Ags on the Void Spirit, Shard on the Templar Assassin.
And there's a good amount. Their team fight isn't the strongest. It's going to be whether Brewmaster can get the split off. They have decent amount of control with Axe plus Puck. These are heroes that he doesn't like to play into, but it also depends on which stance he's going to be in, whether he's going to get brewed up before that jump. And we'll still get the pull off. So far, so good. Like, very, very good in this matchup. Better than I expected. 18 and 12 against 9 and 1 on Nisha.
Yeah, this is kind of an insane one-sided CS battle at the moment, which has been really tough for Nisha, who will pause for a moment.
Quinn not happy with that pause. He was in the zone. He was so focused, as you can tell by the amount of CS and denies that he does have. Quinn has been having a great tournament so far.
Yeah, well, you were saying it in the last game. Just the average KDA, the lowest deaths here, all really stack up really well for the side of Gaimin Gladiators with the with Watson's KDA and everything like that, and Quinn as well. So two heroes or two players that have really just been overwhelmingly good.
Yeah, Quinn had a couple of tournaments where he was not performing up to his standards.
Right?
But definitely picked it up.
Watson got low, but he's going to be okay. They end up killing off Saberlight. They look over
fine.
at Boxy.
They have another shield. Maladich can pop the stick if Boxy decides to go in.
He runs back at them, but no axe for 5 seconds, and both these heroes on the side of Gaimin Gladiators are going to be fine.
That's why I love this lane. Like, this is not a very easy lane to kill. They're going to be punching back. And also, Saberlight, he did go for the 1-0-1 build at level 2, which I think is the correct choice in this one, because you can still dispel it with the Aphotic Shield. Aphotic Shield is still a decent amount of mana, 120. Cooldown drops by 2 seconds. They're going in.
Yeah, rebounding forward goes to the Disposed, but the Aphotic Shield is in. It'll pop. And now you go to the Refraction, and Boxy's in trouble. Saberlight, there's just nothing he can do to get this kill. You've got Refraction, you have Aphotic Shield. You need so much to just break through these shells.
It is too much. They just don't have enough damage. And with those couple of kills, they gave Watson just enough gold to buy Power Treads. He has good amount of stats as well. Brought a Healing Salve, knows the matchup, knows that they need to stay full HP to get that damage in. And with every single kill, with every single level, this lane becomes much harder for Liquid.
Yeah, that bottom lane's not really fair. It's like if you opened a peanut.
It's not fair.
I didn't say it like that, but hey, they're going in for Maladich. They've got the battle hunger. They'll at least get a kill there, but they might end up trading as Saberlight trying to juke around the trees, but unable to do so. Watson gets the trade. But I was going to say, it's like if you opened the shell of a peanut and found another peanut shell. You know, now you got to open it twice. Or though more so a walnut would be harder.
Yeah, it's been a while. Nowadays, you can just buy it.
De-shelled.
Yeah, exactly. Nisha,
oh,
he got caught. Solo kill by Quinn. Will TP back immediately. That's pre-level 6 minute active rune. lot of things going Gaimin Gladiators' way in the first couple of minutes, especially this bottom lane. Watson sitting at 30 CS, 12 denies on top of the net worth. This is the start that you want to have as Templar Assassin.
Every lane going pretty well. Ace is the only one really, in quotations, struggling, but even then, he's fine. Always pretty okay for Gaimin Gladiators.
Yeah. Everything except the top lane, which I don't think you should be winning the lane. This is an interesting lane that we haven't seen too much out of. Brewmaster is a very good counter against Terrorblade, dealing with the illusions. And also something to point out that Insania did go for the hotspot facet. This is the facet that gives you insane amount of damage, but your laning is not as strong compared to the Dying Light. I'm also wondering, they can kill him. If he's isolated, they can definitely kill him, but this also gives some extra XP to Templar Assassin in the bottom lane. Level 6.5.
He's fine.
Also in this lane, if there's no rotation, if nobody's rotating to the top lane, they can always TP out. They have no stuns available on Liquid.
You do have saves too once you get that escape act. Or even just if they're going to stand still, tame the beast, throw that fear on and help them run away. Boxy grabbing one shrine, Tofu grabbing the other. Almost level 5 for Ace, who's trying to get into that 6. But look at the difference here for the Templar Assassin at top of the net worth, almost at 4,000 overall.
Yeah, I also want to see if we're going to be seeing a bit of a different build on Watson. If we might be seeing the Mjolnir build, because he's playing into TB, he's playing into Axe. These heroes have a lot of armor, and that's one way to deal with it. We saw Watson when he was playing PL that Ame TA did go for that build. Blood Grenade wants to give a kill to Watson, but he is slowed by that battle hunger.
Could not get there in time, but Maladich getting the kill, and Watson being involved pushes his net worth anyway. Gaimin Gladiators are going to have a very farmed Templar Assassin to work with, which could be a big problem here for Liquid, especially when you get that Primal Split activated. You have that extra control. Things are going to get nasty here with Quinn, who's also having a really good game. He's got an amplified damage and a bottled up Arcane Rune.
Is there anything they can ask for more? Gaimin's Gladiators.
Aether Remnant connects.
He's in.
Nisha even dropping the Dream Coil. That's just to survive. He was in. He was one shot from dead, but Quinn unable to get it, couldn't jump and continue with that Dream Coil, holding him still. Jump in, rebound, Ace, dispose, Sunray. He'll get the kill on Ace. Good kill there, and Mickey, he starts to boost up as well. And they'll start to take the tier 1 tower. You've got this Metamorphosis to work with and able to push the tower a little bit, but they glyph it immediately on the side of Gaimin Gladiators.
This is the rotation that they needed. Either Puck rotation or Marcy rotation, pre-level 6 on Brewmaster. Their damage is a bit limited, so killing Brewmaster is gonna be a bit more difficult when there's no meta. Saberlight is level 7, finding some good levels. Okay amount of farm, nothing too crazy. Did die 3 times in this lane.
Has to be careful. He's right by the tower. He should be fine. He is now level 7. But Maladich is kind of like waiting, hoping that Saberlight makes the move out. He'll go over into the triangle, and there are some stacks to take to try and get some more of that gold into his pocket. He is 1,000 gold ahead of Ace, so the Axe, despite the fact that he's died a couple of times here, is getting a decent chunk. He's not under-farmed, really.
Good amount of gold, farming some of the stacks in the triangle. They would definitely love to get level 6 on Brewmaster, try to play a little bit more aggressive, maybe grab a kill on Mickey. Tofu also doing a lot of stacking in the triangle. This Watson TA is set up for a success in this one.
Certainly, and yeah, breaking the 5,000 point. Maladich, when he'll have that level 6, he'll be able to kind of soak up the damage with that borrowed time. Nothing too aggressive coming out just yet from Gaimin Gladiators. A lot of the kills that they got were on their side of the map. The ones that Quinn got were onto Nisha, and that was jumping towards the back of the tier 1 tower. But for the most part, they've been on their side, but they are going to make an aggressive play here. Tofu and Maladich going over towards Ace, who is level 6. So
Mickey immediately gone from the lane, seeing that Brewmaster did hit level 6, knows that there's going to be some kind of rotation happening. Insania is killable, not the easiest hero to kill, Mickey's still relatively close by. Let's see how they approach this one. He didn't catch him mid-dive, but still gonna die here. Level 5 on Insania.
Yeah, nowhere for him to go. They've got the Aphotic Shield. That'll pop. Insania is going to burn out, and Ace will get credit for that kill, and then it's just the Terrorblade continuing to farm inside that outer ring jungle.
Dire's top tower is
Watson's doing the same thing. And then, like you said, Quinn, he's going straight into that Axe, and that's no surprise.
We've seen some Mage Slayers, we've seen some Spirit Vessels after the recent buff, so that you're getting actually the damage because you are Universal Hero. Ever since the change that we removed the Vitality booster, so that's nice, but also he had such a good start that he can allow himself, and also the timing is going to be very important. They're going to be hitting this Aghanim Scepter Radiance timing, and TA will be ready for that fight. Watson going for a Blink Dagger as his first item after the Dragonlance, so wants to be more active, wants to be joining maybe some of these earlier fights. It's also a farming item on TA. Hey, he needs help.
Yeah, he does. He caught.
He's tanky,
caught, but he's very tanky with the refraction. Ace comes in. TP attempt, but the jump forward from Quinn will help to get the kill. Almost kind of seeming like the split maybe isn't necessary, but if they can get the chase and get Boxy in a +1, that'll feel even better. And the trap slows up Boxy. They'll have that Void Panda to pull him if need be. He'll jump over towards Nisha and instead goes back to form over in the bottom lane.
Ooh, that was a bit too much. Like diving underneath the tower, thinking that with level 2 call they have enough. It is 2.2 seconds compared, let's say he was super high level, because he also did put a second point in Battle Hunger, which I think is a bit too much considering you're playing into Aphotic Shield, you're playing into TA who has insane amount of damage so that she can easily deny some of the creeps, but very difficult to kill to get underneath the tower, knowing that there's going to be at least one TP rotation.
By the way, Blink Dagger is already on Watson. He is about to hit level 12. 13 minutes into the game. He's also picked up another Null Talisman, or his first Null Talisman, but he's also got the Blink and the Dragonlance. He is giga farmed.
This is a bit of a problem.
Ooh.
This is also before he cleared the triangle. They could also give the big stack to Quinn, but it seems like they also want to be using it more aggressively. No Primal Split for 50 seconds.
Yeah, a long time till you have that big ult.
is under attack.
Seeing that Quinn doesn't have TP, this time they will bring Nisha. TP is coming onto the courier. Let's see who TP's first this time around if they find TA. But he's already gone. Down the river, will TP into the triangle where the stacks are. So Liquid late for a good 15-ish, 20 seconds for this rotation.
Ooh, man, look at all these stacks. Mamma mia. That is a lot of gold. And they have also found Mickey, who will sunder. But the Wheel of Wonder from Tofu, the Supernova, and who do you have to go for this egg? They'll start to surround it. They should be able to scramble it, and they just do. Nisha's here, Dream Coil placed down. They get the kill on Ace. It ends up being a trade. They'll look over at Maladich, who is getting quite low. Mickey, he is chasing him down, but the damage is there. They'll get themselves at least a second. They'll look for Quinn, but they don't get the call as he'll use that step to get far away from this Liquid team.
Not too bad of a fight, bringing numbers. Egg, it doesn't pop, unfortunately. It was very close. There was a miss, I believe, and Boxy also using Dispose at the last second. Tia was farming in the triangle, getting that extra bit of a farm, and Quinn getting another power rune for himself.
Wow. Look at this farm on Watson. He takes all those stacks and now has 2,000 gold. So close to having a Desolator already with the Blink and the Dragonlance.
Are they going to give him the XP Shrine as well?
It's definitely a conversation, and the answer is yes. So now he's level 14. He's getting a level per minute over here. I mean, that is...
These are some insane numbers from Watson.
Some great experience. Primal Split gets used. They throw the stone over onto Boxy, stunned up, but Cyclone hitting Saberlight. He'll try to help out. Insania is also here, but doesn't have the Supernova. Battle Hunger, escape backed with the rebound, the call connecting on the Ace, who is gonna die to Insania. But now from behind them is Watson. Insania trying to get up to the high ground with this Sunray, and the Tame the Beast is what finishes him off.
Watson joining a fight. Doesn't have much mana, doesn't have that much HP to work with. Abaddon is close by. He could heal him up. Malady, all he needs is levels, all he needs is one big item, and that's going to be Holy Locket, and he's going to have it soon. Already holding on to Diadem, so the heals are definitely going to be there.
This item timing is going to be pretty intense if Quinn doesn't die here. Hit with the Waning Rift, Saberlight gets the Battle Hunger. Dream Coil and the Aether Remnant will lock up Saberlight for a second. They have the Escape Act, but the call still hits. So Saberlight gets the kill on a Quinn. The Wheel of Wonder is down. Saberlight's trying to run. Watson, he's down to about half health. But Boxy looking over, there's the rebound, trying to get Boxy before the Unleash kills him, and he's got himself a double kill.
As long as Maladich is close by, if he's using the shield on him, he's going to be able to live. Level 15, 16 minutes into the game, over 11,000 net worth.
The Deso's coming, and he's 700 gold away from having a shard.
Mickey's still far. Like, Mickey's still doing good. It's just that this Temper Assassin is doing way too much at this point of the game.
Yeah.
His farm's fine.
His farm's great. It's just not beating perfect. And beating Fed. There's only so far been breakfast for this Terrorblade. 1 kill, 1 assist. Meanwhile, Watson has gone to the buffet.
Yeah, he's subscribed to all-you-can-eat buffet 3 times a day.
Those meals get delivered instantly, and look at this, the Deso and the Shard all getting delivered. So now you've got that powered-up Psionic Trap with the Silence. And how do you even leave? Saberlight's on the run. Sunray's going to try and keep him alive, but the Tame the Beast hits. The Waning Rift to go to the Dream Coil. It's all right, but now you got to get more.
Where's the damage?
Comes in, and they've got themselves the rebound, but TB got dragged into what was a trap that silenced them for a second. Nisha's still trying to do some damage, but Liquid just don't have any answers to this overly farmed Templar Assassin and all the shields that he's getting.
2 supports with like double, triple save that they do have, like maybe even quadruple with Wheel of Wonder. Very difficult to kill, and Watson 6-0-5. Has another 600 gold in the bank. 4 Deso charges already, as soon as he picked it up. This triple silence, double silence from Resonant Pulse, and the trap is going to be causing a lot of issues. And this is also pre-Radiance. Ace is not having the greatest time, but he's playing with the team. He's getting involved, sacrificing himself. Rest of the team's able to get some of the cleanup kills, and about to finish off Radiance.
He'll finally have that big item for himself. Like you said, he's kind of not having the best game overall, but he's got higher net worth than Nisha, who is struggling.
Not going to get easier for him. Like, you need ways to deal with those silences because you don't have a save other than pick me up.
Wheel of Wonder, but there's the escape back, Tame the Beast, and Quinn is still dead. Maladich might follow as he has borrowed time in a second. Oh, just not up in time. His ask to borrow some time was declined.
Good moves from Liquid. Getting 2 kills. Still showing that they can take the fight. Saberlight gets the initiation.
Watson's
That's another
here.
one.
But does he have the damage? That's going to be another kill. This one for Nisha. Gives him a good chunk of gold. And this fight happening by the Tier 2 tower secures them an objective. This is not bad at all for Liquid.
Definitely not. I want to see Gaimin Gladiators go for a smoke, push out the waves, and then go for a pickoff, turn it into Roche. Because if this Templar Assassin dies, she's going to feed big chunk of XP and an insane amount of gold. Having a big streak right now, 6-0-5.
Definitely got to think about the 20-minute mark coming up soon. Wondering if Gaimin Gladiators, especially with the Desolator and the TA on your team, you always think about going in for Roche.
Oh, this might be a solo kill bottom. Yeah.
Quinn getting Saberlight, and that might even open up the Tormentor coming up in 15 seconds for him.
Bit of a scratch on the head. Going for that extra wave. Seeing at very low HP. And now Void Spirit searing Signet. Going into Manta style next, it seems.
There's that Radiance.
Big item.
Yules for Tofu. So even more of a potential save, right? Blink Call comes in. If he's there, he could Yules him. Has the Escape Act. Yeah, they go for the Tormentor. The question is, do they want Roche after this?
They could go through the Quinn gate. Bottom lane is pushing in. They could connect with Quinn. Try to take that fight. McKay is showing out the way with the illusions.
TP
not
to
showing
mid.
in the lane.
Almost 50-50. 55-45 is pretty close. 20 minutes into the game. We've talked heavily about how Watson's having a perfect game. Terrorblade's right there with him and kind of giving Liquid a really good chance. And it's opened up where Saberlight's gotten himself a good amount of farm.
Nisha, most
And Nisha's
importantly.
recovered.
Yeah, he got a couple of assists in the previous one, didn't die, and managed to get a Blink Dagger. That game looked for him very difficult. He was sitting at 700 gold when they were taking the fight. And if he dies there, your game is kind of ruined. You're playing into multiple silences, but now he managed to recover. And I want to see what he's going to be building into next, whether that's going to be some Yule Scepter or if that's going to be a BKB. We saw a good amount of BKBs on Puck as their like 3rd/4th item.
Yeah, it's definitely something that's going to protect him if he gets that BKB. Would love to see it. Wheel of Wonder, they've got the Silence with the Ags upgrade. Aether Remnant pulls in Boxy, gives Nisha a chance to survive.
Nice play
Boy
from
also gets
Boxy.
placed down, but there's the Yules. So Tofu up into the air, but they've also got this Terrorblade coming off to the side, trying to get a kill. They use the Aphotic Shield to keep this Ringmaster helping healthy, and now they can jump onto the Terrorblade. They land the Aether Remnant, and they get the kill here onto TB.
He already used the Manta
dead.
style.
Cyclone onto the Phoenix. Insania trying to run, but forced to use that
This egg.
Supernova.
They have Axe.
Back away from it, and Saberlight Boxy may be looking for their opening. They're going to stun up this Brewmaster, but it doesn't
Ace
really
doesn't care.
quite
He's
matter.
just running them down with Radiance.
Call connects onto Quinn. They'll go to the Unleash. They'll pick up a couple and now look to kill off Tofu. They get themselves Quinn. 2 heroes dead, but Saberlight low, getting chased by Ace with that Radiance.
Watson's
They've got the
dying.
GA soloed out, and Watson's going to fall. Big gold for Boxy. They look further for Ace. This is a lot of gold going the way of Liquid. They lost the Terrorblade first, but now, even without the Terrorblade, the fight turns around.
He needs a bit of a help. Maladich has no mana whatsoever. There's one coil, but that's about it. They're going to keep chasing.
Illusory Orb, Waning Rift, Maladich dead, and if this is a kill on the Ace, this will be a full team wipe. Sunray jumping in, Tofu's here, Impalement Arts, but Tofu's taking a lot of quick damage, Yules. Does anybody else come around? They hit that Tame the Beast, but nobody else is there. Meanwhile, they're trying to steal the Shrine. They do steal the Shrine. They kill off Tofu. They lose Boxy, but a lot worth it here for the side of Team Liquid.
Oh man, these fights from Gaimin. All right, let's see. They're going to be cleaning up some of the solo kills. Ace solo kill on Boxy. Good amount of gold. Same goes for Quinn. A bit overextended, playing behind enemy lines. There's still tier 1 tower in the mid lane to be taken. Nisha finally popping off. This Witchblade, very good. You are playing against Templar Assassin. That's one way to deal with the refraction, and great against Brewmaster, having True Strike, something that you do kind of struggle dealing the damage with whenever he's in Stormbrawler stance, whenever you're trying to hit with the Radiance. But yeah, that fight
Middle tower is under attack.
looked like it's already over. They decided to completely ignore the egg, seeing that X was around. X didn't really do much. X by X, I mean egg, didn't really do much.
I was surprised. I mean, I know the axe is right in their face, but did they have an option to go for the egg? It seemed like they saw it immediately, saw the axe, and were like, you know what, forget it.
Didn't really do much. I believe he changed the stance, so he did have that status resistance, didn't get stunned for a long. Somebody made a call that they can take that fight, but also, because Mickey died immediately, didn't have Manta style ready. Quinn jumped him, got another silence, no Sunder.
Net worth sits at even, 20-16. And the side of Team Liquid are in on Roche. There is answers here for
Down to half
Gaimin
HP already.
Gladiators, but they got to get over here pretty quickly. They're going to try and make the move, the Astral Step, that Assimilate, but nothing to catch just yet. Maladich has borrowed time. He could jump in there as well. Supernova is ready. Aether Remnant, nobody in the pit for the side of Liquid. Nisha goes in with the Waning Rift to silence up Maladich and Ace, but they leave this Roche, at least for the moment, with 1,800 health.
Roshan's going top.
Resonant Pulse, Aether Remnant, drop down, doesn't connect. Sunray from Insania. Nisha waiting on the side. He's got Dream
They
Coil
have the
ready
trap
to go.
as well. They silence Axe. This could be big if they can kill him here.
Call connects on Ace. They go to the Supernova, but now they've got the Wheel of Wonder. They get the kill on a Saberlight. They look over as the borrow time's going to be popping
Saber
out.
with the
They find
buyback.
themselves their hands on a Quinn. He's getting run down. He's got the Resonant Pulse. He goes into the Assimilate. Now Watson, he's trying to be soloed out. But Tofu, he's He's dead. He's the first one to drop on the side of Gaimin Gladiators. They'll lose Maladich too, so both supports are dead on the side of Gaimin. But they land that shot with the rebound on a Watson. He's hiding inside the trees. They'll chase after Ace's Void Panda. They don't get their hands on Quinn, and they don't get Ace either.
Not too bad of a fight again. Killing 2 of the supports, seeing that they are lacking some of the damage to deal with this Terrorblade. Mickey, if he's fighting around the team, if they're fighting around the Spotlight and the Egg, they have the protection. And then Roshan, he didn't regen up much, which means that Liquid will get the hands on the Aegis.
Not what I was expecting with the Templar Assassin lineup with a TA that was super farmed and still is. But Liquid defying some of the odds and taking the first Roche themselves.
They're also going to give it to Puck. Nisha has been having a blast of a game, dying only once, considering what he was playing into. Relatively early Aghanim Scepter on Void Spirit, Shard on Templar Assassin. Only dying once is pretty impressive, and for the next fight, you need to kill him twice.
See if they can pull that off. Somebody who's getting a good amount of farm is Boxy, and he is top of the supports.
Yeah, Boxy is all about providing sustain for his team. Pick me up. Very nice moves, getting them in and out of the fight. And also going for Vlad's.
Oh, Maladich.
This is what you want to have when you have DB on the team. He's in no man's land.
He's got borrowed time. And that'll pop. Dream Coil snaps after the borrowed time is up. And the sands of time are gone. They will take Maladich's life.
Liquid will outscale them, especially with the build that Puck is going for. This is Witchblade plus Maelstrom. It's a lot of damage. It's a way to deal with the evasion as well, deal with Templar Assassin. Now he does have BKB available on Templar Assassin, but if Team Liquid, if they are playing 5-man strong, these are very difficult fights for Gaimin to take.
Never really had a massive lead on the side of Gaimin Gladiators, but
no.
The tempo of the game felt like it was in their hands with the way that they were moving around the map and getting these kills. But Liquid have answered the call with a call of their own, and they have really started to stride. They're only up 1,000 net worth, but with this Aegis, it does feel like they're the ones who have their foothold on this second game.
Watson wants to jump in. He's thinking about it. Mickey, oh, he caught him.
They got him. They're trying to get this kill to this TB, and Mickey is dead first. Call connects on an Ace, the TP attempt to pick me up. They won't be able to stop the TP. Yes, they will. So Tofu gets the Yules, thinking he was going to TP out. Nobody was there initially, but they got the catch, and they'll get the kill. Saberlight dead for 70 seconds.
Only losing 2 there could have been a bit more disastrous for them. It's time to take it slow, considering that they had this relatively early deso. There's still Tier 1 tower standing in the mid lane, Tier 1 tower in the bottom lane. But they find the opportunity. They did not give Aegis to Mickey. He is Transformation Hero, but we've seen good amounts of TB still carrying it, especially if you want to be playing slightly more aggressive. I guess he was not counting in potentially the Remnant that can catch him off guard with the Hurricane Pike. Watson taking another XP Shrine, level 22.
High level here. Taking that Shrine, and the other one available still on the other side of the map. Nobody on that side of the map, though, because they are pushing the Tier 2 tower. Looking at that Shrine upside down. I don't like that you saw me looking with my head upside down.
You really didn't have to. You could have just said it. They don't see us on camera.
No, they don't. Ace will TP top. And he's almost got AC. When Radiant's boots a travel, and Nisha catches him for a second. As the Waning Rift silences him, hits him with an illusory orb, but that's about it.
Saberlight needs his BKB. He's still very far away from it. This is going to be an item that it does allow him to jump in and doesn't need to care too much about anything else. They have no BKB piercing abilities.
Xtreme Coil is going to have Ags on it now.
It's a lot of damage.
Maladich. Gale guarding, tame the beast. The fear was there on Anisha initially, but the borrowed time popped very quickly. Blink call connects. And now they'll go to the Metamorphosis. The Dreamco is going to be on the backlines. They're going to snap that. Ace silenced up. But Watson with the BKB takes the Aegis out of the Nisha's hands really quickly. Maladich is going to be dead, so they don't have the Aphotic Shield to work with. The damage being done by Mickey, but they've got themselves to jump in. But
They got him twice.
Nisha. They got this puck twice. They'll look over for Boxy. Another Team of the Beast. Mickey's in trouble. The Blink as well as the call, but they've got themselves the Hurricane
They're
Pike and the right
trying to
click
fight
in.
nicely.
But there's the Cyclone coming up from Ace. Sunder used
No Sunder
by Mickey,
available.
and he is in trouble. The Astral Step, the double kill from Quinn. They'll look for Saberlight. They don't give a shit about this Blade Mail, and they will hit through it, and Watson will get another.
Oh, what a fight from Gaimin. Again, using a lot of things onto Abaddon position 5. I mean, they were, I would say, fighting it correctly, but also revealing that they are committing to the fight. And then Brewmaster gets the split, Puck gets surprised. He pretty much gets 3-shotted by Templar Assassin. Wheel of Wonder connects, and he dies again.
Oh!
Doesn't matter. Way too much damage. Watson, this is probably one of the most farmed Templar Assassins I've seen. We've seen very good like Templar Assassin games. Mickey is the one who loves to play it pure as well, but this is also a top-tier performance from Watson. Daedalus done, about to crack level 25.
Take a look at the replay, and they focus a lot of attention on the Maladich.
Yeah, they're buying a lot of time. Two supports taking care of each other, and you can see at the top of the screen, Watson pretty much one-shotting. Egg, he's playing off of the Sunray with the hotspot. Can't really blame him. They don't have the best egg protection other than Axe Call, so he wants to keep the distance. And then Sunder has been already used. Like two supports, you see the Whoopee Cushion getting out of the trouble. He has Lens, so he has pretty free spell casting from the distance. And two supports taking care of each other nicely. And as soon as TB dies, they just don't have enough damage.
That puts them up a lot. The net worth was close for the longest time. With that fight, too, Watson's broken the 1,000 XPM mark.
Are scanning.
Yeah, but what about GPM? 1,000 GPM. How's he doing?
Well,
Not even close.
775. That's 3/4 of the way there.
Those are rookie numbers in this professional e-gamer racket. Gotta pump those up.
What's your GPM?
Right now?
Yeah.
Right now, 0. No, I'm just kidding. He's definitely breaking some of the records, but I'm talking about over 1,000 GPM with Alchemist, these type of heroes, especially in a longer game. Right now, it's very hard to break it. Watson is in level 25. He does have Bash available, and he bashed it. Gone.
Yeah.
2 hits.
Wheel of Wonder, Insania. He is silenced thanks to the trap of Watson. And 2 more kills lined up for Gaimin Gladiators. This is going to be another Tormentor, and now a Shard for Quinn.
Watson was struggling to deal the damage in some of these like mid-game fights, around 15 and 20. But as soon as he got his Crystallis, Daedalus, now with level 25, he was definitely feeling afraid. Pre-BKB to jump into the fights, and now this whole game kind of flipped. He got him again. Oh man, I don't think you can ask for a better performance.
And the name is Gaimin Gladiators. Watson like Aurelius out there, dominating this Coliseum.
If you must.
They are really, really all in on this Templar Assassin.
Yeah. Watson, Decimus Maximus, look at him go. 10, 1, and 14.
We saw him feel like Aurelius in Game 1. Game 2, the same. I don't know if you saw Gladiator 2.
I did, unfortunately, yeah.
It's
loved
alright.
it. I love the Sharks.
Thought it was cool.
Yeah, they should have put some aliens as well in it.
Sharks make sense.
They did have naval battles in Colosseum, but they never had sharks, from what I understood. And they might need some of that extra. Team Liquid might need some of that extra terrestrial abilities to be able to win this fight, because it is very difficult. There's also Shiva's Guard as well available on Quinn.
Yeah, you want them to get those ETs to help out, but you know, it's only the upper bracket, so they won't be phoning home if they do lose this series.
Boxy has BKB, so he's going to be also dealing some of the damage.
All right,
There's a lot of tankiness as well. Abaddon, Holy Locket, Vlad doesn't get the jump.
Jumping. looking for Quinn. Dispose, unleashing. Can they get the kill here? They hit the call, but the damage being done onto the Phoenix forces out the Supernova. The egg. It might end up popping. No. They'll get the kill into Insania. They'll use the Wheel of Wonder. That taunts up Boxy, and Mickey has to go all the way up onto the high ground with that Force Staff. They got 2 heroes dead on the side.
Another
Liquid,
trap.
They'll look over for Nisha. The
silence
trap
forever.
Up. And that's going to be 3 dead on Liquid. Following that up with Saberlight's death. It looks so grim here for Liquid. They have found themselves the Yules on Mickey, and they will start to surround him. Astral Step and another kill. Full team wipe. GG called. Gaimin Gladiators take the 2-0 over Team Liquid.
Oh man, this lane, this Watson plus Malady lane, a lot of synergy. I like how they approached. I'm pretty sure the teams try to figure it out how to play against Axe plus Mars.